Hello, everybody. It's Friday, and that means it's time for the Santa Clarita Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John on AM-1220 KHTS. It's been so long, I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to come in. And what's your name, by the way?
I would be John Rogers.
John Rogers.
You would be
Doug Sutton.
Doug Sutton. Oh, yeah, from the... I remember you. We used to do a radio show together a long time ago.
I think the last one was April or something.
It seems that way.
Where you been, man?
We talking baseball? The season's going to start, right?
Yeah, football. I don't know.
Football is definitely going to start. But no, where have you been?
I don't know, everywhere.
Same here.
Yeah.
It's been fun, though.
Yeah.
We took the tour. We took the show on the road. We did the traveling Doug and John show.
That's right.
We were never in the same spot at the same time, right? For security reasons.
But here we are. It's time to get back at it.
It's time to get back at it. Now you know what you're going to want to talk about?
What?
You're going to want to talk about that really big event last night? The one that everybody's talking about.
Oh, the debate?
No, I was talking about my buddy's bowling league.
Oh, yeah.
Of course the debate.
Oh, I missed it. No, I didn't.
You missed it. Right. You probably kept score.
I did.
You kept score.
Yeah, I did.
I knew you kept score. How did you keep score?
It was kind of random, kind of subjective.
Gee, really?
One thing I found, though, it's hard to, because everybody, you click with different personalities. And so you have to try to overlook that. If certain guy's personality bugs you, you got to try to ignore that to go with what he's saying.
It's almost better, and I did this a little bit, I turned away. I didn't watch the TV screen because certain guys were annoying.
The way they looked?
The way they looked. I mean, I think I showed you the picture earlier, and please Google this. I like what he said at points. Rand Paul looks like Martin Short. No questions asked. Somebody said Beaker from the Muppets, but I went... Nope. Martin Short.
Well, I told you earlier, show prep, I turned on Glenn Beck this morning to see what he thought about the debate. And the first thing they're talking about is Rubio's ears and Walker's baldness. So.
Yeah, it's so
why?
But you've got several different things to think about. You've got the ability to, act presidential. So you're looking at that. Okay. You got the ability to look presidential.
Right.
You're looking at that. Then you got the ability to sound presidential, regardless of what they're saying.
Right.
And then finally you get to the substance. And it's frustrating. What did you think of the moderators?
Didn't like them. I mean, I liked them on their Fox regular shows. I did not. I'd be honest, John, I didn't like the debate that much. I didn't like the way it was set up. Some of the questions to me were stupid.
Yeah, well, there's no question. Has God given you a word on what to do your first 5 days in office?
How do you feel about transvestites in the military?
Yeah.
I don't give a rip what a guy thinks about that.
It's not... Were they trolling? You know what that means?
Yeah,
Were they trying to get like the gotcha moment? I think that's big, and I also think that they tried to set up Donald Trump.
I was just going to say that.
The Trump Meister is exactly what he is.
I think you could tell that Megyn Kelly, one of the moderators, was out to get.
I don't think there's any question.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any question. And what's frustrating to me is that he
Hello.
What he does.
This is Steve Knight.
Talk about things in a way that people want to listen. He's not a nice guy.
Right.
This is Steve Knight.
He doesn't come across as a nice guy.
Yes.
He's basically just who he is. And what's frustrating is that they take that. You're not used to it. You're not used to a politician answering your question truthfully.
Right.
The very first question: Are you gonna be
Okay.
an independent candidate? Raise your hand. Everybody, raise your hand. No, I'm not gonna do that. I might do it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Everybody else was like, "Oh yeah, I'll do it. Oh sure,
Yeah.
okay, whatever you want to hear." He doesn't tell you what you want to hear, and people aren't used to that. And I think the big money in the Republican Party is getting concerned because he's still around.
Well, that's the word on the street. They were supposed to take him out last night.
They didn't do a very good job.
Make him go away.
They didn't do a very good job. Although I did see something which is really funny, and once again, you can find this on the internet. Do you remember the old Saturday Night Live skit, Night at the Roxbury, with those two guys bopping their head all the time? That was Trump last night, because every time you're asking a question, it's like the Trump bobblehead. It was hilarious. And once again, you turn away and you go, "Oh, this dude's."
But John, I didn't like the form. I mean, I know you can't with 10 guys up there. You can't ask them all the same question. To me, they somehow have got to change the format. One of my favorite candidates, Ted Cruz, I think hardly said any. He did. To me, he got the least amount of time to speak.
I think he talked for like 6 minutes and change. Everybody was close to the 6 minutes. I thought Ben Carson nailed some answers, and I wanted to hear more. Yeah. But she didn't get back to it. I think he even said something, didn't he?
Yeah. And you know who surprised me the most was Huckabee, Mike Huckabee.
Surprise you how?
He just did a lot better than I'm so used to him being on that Fox show all those years.
He comes across as a religious fanatic.
Nah, but last night I thought he was right on point.
He did a better job last night. Yeah. But come on, applying the 5th and 14th Amendment to unborn fetuses.
Okay, so real quick though, since everybody's talking about Trump, how do you think he did?
I don't think
it was a wash.
I think if he came knocked down a little bit, I don't think it was a loss. His problem is what we talked about: acting, sounding presidential. He may have great theories and great policies, but he's got to look, act, and I don't like Rosie O'Donnell either, okay? But you can't say it. I don't want my president to say it. Come on.
But is that part of the appeal, that he's appealing to the mass? Or is he appealing only to low information voters with his personality?
He's getting the anti-Rosie O'Donnell vote.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's exactly what he's in for, Doug. So we got a big show today.
We do.
Who's on?
We do.
I don't know. I forgot.
I'll let you know.
Okay. All right. Well, if that's the case, I guess we can go to break now. Because I really do want to know what's coming. You're not going to tell me? You really?
I think we have a congressman coming on. A real one.
Like live?
For reals.
For reals?
Yeah.
For reals. All right. Well, you listen to Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John on AM-1220 KHTS, Santa Cruz hometown station. We'll be back.
We are back, everybody, on Santa Clarita's hometown station, AM-1220 KHTS. It's the Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John. It's the radio digest version of the Santa Clarita Gazette. It's everything you need to know to be in the know, right, John?
That's what you tell me.
Yeah.
So I kind of have to agree with that.
You're supposed to go with it.
Oh, yes. Yes, exactly. What's your name again?
John, I'm really excited about our next guest.
You haven't told me who our next guest is.
Have you ever heard of Steve Knight?
I have.
Yeah. Steve Knight is a congressman who represents the 25th Congressional District, easy for me to say, and I am more than thrilled to have him on. Congressman Knight, are you with us?
Gentlemen, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, Congressman, thanks so much for coming on today. So we're going to talk about not my friend's bowling league, but the big thing that's on everybody's mind today, the debate. Did you get a chance to watch it?
I did. I went to a barbecue last night, so I missed it live, and then I caught the replay. It's interesting. It's the first debate with 10 people up there, and I guess in the first debate, I didn't get to see that one with the 7. Carly did really, really well. But,
she stood up very well. I bet you were glad you weren't on that stage, huh?
Well, debates are nerve-wracking. It's not the easiest thing in the world. I thought a couple of them handled themselves really well. I thought a couple of them were going down the wrong path. And the one thing that kind of disappointed me was there's an awful lot of talk about President Obama. He's not running. And
good point.
So focus on what you want to do, and if you want to focus on the opponent on the other party, that's okay. But President Obama is not running, so that might be my only advice to him.
Do you think they should have concentrated just as much on Hillary, or when they would reference her?
I mean, if you're going to show a contrast, yeah, that's what you want to do. If you're going to go in there and talk about the economy, then why are your ideas better, or national defense, or whatever it is? But you're talking about a president who's pretty popular out there, and he's not running. So that would be my only advice. I thought a couple of them did really well. I thought a couple of them will get a spike. I think John Kasich will get a little spike. I think Ben Carson will get a little spike. The ones I thought might have come back a little I thought Marco Rubio looked like a one subject candidate,
right?
And I, not that I don't like Marco Rubio, but he's got to step out and talk about other things other than immigration.
Right.
And,
I agree. Well,
and then Jeb Bush had, I would give him a moderate okay. How about that?
Yeah, he didn't do anything to hurt himself, but he didn't stand out. Congressman, this may be a little bit of a personal question, but do you have there were a lot of issues last night. There were a lot of issues. They covered a lot of ground. Do you, in this upcoming election, do you have a favorite issue that you're looking at? Or do you have a pet peeve? A pet issue that you go, oh, I like the way this guy talks about this one issue. I'm going to pay more attention to him.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's going to say that the economy and jobs and all that. And if you're a politician, you got to say the economy and jobs.
Right.
That's the way it is. But I really think that that how we're seen by other countries is a big issue. Not just our friends, but how our enemies see us. And so I think that's going to be one of the subjects that's going to drive this campaign a little bit. And that'll come down to how much we spend on the military. Are we spending things correctly? Should there be a new process of things in the military? And conflict out there. But I think that will be the one that I look at. Who is going to have a good, solid ground on what our enemies are thinking, what our friends are thinking, how we're seen. I think that's going to be one of the big issues that's going to be talked about.
It kind of flows from everything, doesn't it, though? Because if we've got a strong economy, we're doing things the right way, and our social issues are taken care of, and we've got a strong military, we're going to be seen pretty well by our enemies and our friends. I mean, that's kind of the goal, isn't it?
The stronger we are economically, the stronger we are. There's no doubt about that. But did you hear a lot of talk about terrorist activity or ISIS last night? I mean, it was said a couple times, but I just didn't think it was talked about a lot. And I think that as the debates go forward, you're going to start hearing more and more of that because the polling I see, that's what people are thinking about.
Well,
it was what they're talking about.
It was also interesting. Everybody kind of had the same tone and solution to that, which is, military, cool, next, hooray for us. And I think we've got to break that down a little bit into, I think you said something very, very important that a lot of people don't catch on to, which is not what we spend, but how we spend it.
Congressman, are you able or allowed or want to endorse a certain candidate at this point?
Oh, I am allowed and able. I won't.
Not even on the Gazette Radio Hour?
Yeah, I'm a voting citizen too, and we're going to have a new president in 18 months, and so I will listen. There are 17 folks out there in the party that I am. I think that's going to whittle down to probably 6 or 7 over the next 3 or 4 months. I can tell you that I do, and I have met him a couple times, and I like him very much, Sean Kasich. I think he's a very smart man. Yeah. I think last night he smiled a little bit more, which is an engaging thing, and sometimes he doesn't do that. He gets caught up in numbers and things like that. But I'm watching just like everybody else. I'm watching the circus. I'm watching the candidates, and there's going to be a lot of missteps over the next 3 months. So
I can imagine you won't be endorsing Hillary. Is that right? Can we break that news on the air right now, right today?
There you go. That's a scoop.
Oh, there we go. There's our scoop.
I wanted to ask real quick. Do you have not inside information, but obviously you've met some of these gentlemen. I mean, and we don't have that opportunity. Does that sway you at all?
Well, I can tell you, I've met Governor Perry several times, and he and I get along very well, and he gets along with my wife very well. He loves my wife, but I don't know that I'd be supporting Governor Perry, even though I think he's a very nice man, and I think he did a good job in Texas. So, I always say that, one of the reasons you vote for somebody is because you trust them, you like them, those kinds of things. But I'm going to wait, watch, and see. And I think, last night we've got one candidate in there that I think everybody tuned in to see what he was going to say.
All right, let's hold that thought if we can when we come back. Up against a break. We're talking to Congressman Steve Knight. Congressman, can you hang on over the break?
Sure.
Okay.
That was pretty good. That was almost Ryan Seacrest like that. We'll get right back to it after the break. All right. You listen to Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John on AM-1220 KHTS, Santa Cruz hometown station, with Congressman Steve Knight coming back next.